Hey guys, Akil here and welcome back to another Trading Edge video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at a trading opportunity that's on my radar, as well as follow up on a few other opportunities that we talked about earlier in the week. We're also going to have a little bit of a discussion about philosophy in trading and its importance. But first and foremost, if you are one of the 38,000+ traders that subscribe to my channel on YouTube, just want to say a thank you for all of the support. This channel has been growing and growing at a really fast pace, and I know it's because of you guys liking and sharing and just getting the word out. So I just want to say that I appreciate the effort and keep it going. My goal is to reach 50,000 and eventually 100,000. Why? Because those are nice psychological numbers and I like having goals to shoot for. And if you are new, by the way, I am Akil Stokes. I am a Forex trader. I am also a trading coach over at tier1trading.com. And well, hopefully after watching this video and maybe a few other of my videos, I will earn your subscription as well. Now, speaking of newer traders, because this is the weekend version of this video, so I know that a lot of you viewing this on YouTube are either new to trading or maybe you've been around trading for a while, but you're struggling and can't really find that one thing or maybe a few things that's stopping you from success. One of the issues may be that you don't have a solid philosophy on trading. And what I mean by philosophy is essentially a value. Let me ask you guys this. What do you value the most in trading? Feel free to leave a comment below. And I'm not talking about money, I'm not talking about returns, but I'm talking about as far as the analysis goes. For example, do you value the fundamentals, the news? Do you value the technicals? And if so, what specifically about the technicals do you value? Is it support and resistance? Is it being with the trend? Is it going against the trend? Is it mechanical systems? Whatever it is, feel free to type it below and share, because what I want you guys to see is that there's no one philosophy in trading. There's no one strategy. There's no one way to trade that will make someone successful. There are thousands of traders out there using thousands of different techniques and strategies, having different outcomes, meaning that you can be massively successful with all of them. You can also be bad, for lack of a better term, with all of them as well. So I don't want you guys thinking that you need to look for a specific thing in order to find success as a trader. My philosophy on teaching has always been find the philosophy in your trading, find something that you value, and then build your trading style around that. Because what will happen is if you're a trader and you're just looking everywhere, you're trying to do Bollinger Bands and moving average crosses and fundamentals and technicals and counter trend and trend continuation, you're going to have a lot of contradicting signals, and you're going to get a lot of conflicts in your analysis where you don't really know what to do, and your trading is going to suffer because of that. Going on with our, I always make a sports reference, so of course I'm going to hit you with another one. I am a supporter of a football team overseas. Ooh! Soccer team, you got me, soccer team, called Everton, right? And Everton has, they got a pretty decent history, but recently they have kind of been a middle of the pack club. I know you guys from the UK are gonna hammer me because I always talk about how I always call it soccer and they always call it football. And I tell them that it was an Oxford guy that created the word soccer, so it's not our American fault. And now I just blew all of that. But anyway, Everton has always been, or recently have been, kind of a middle of the pack team. And this summer, the manager decided to spend a massive amount of money on new players, right? Buy your way to the top. The problem is we bought all of these new players, right? And a lot of them were quality players. But we didn't have a philosophy on how we were going to use them. So basically we bought, if you could imagine yourself being in a grocery store, right? An analogy within an analogy, right? We bought all different types of groceries from the grocery store, but had no concept of the meal that we were making. So when we got home, we had everything, but it didn't really fit together. And that's the same thing with the Everton Football Club. We had a bunch of players that didn't really work with each other because the team didn't really have a philosophy. And because of that, we're struggling this season once again. And that's why many of you guys are struggling with your trading, because you are everywhere. You're looking at YouTube videos, maybe you're reading articles, you're reading books, and you're finding little things here and there that you like, but not all of them work with your overall philosophy on the markets because, well, you have yet to choose or discover what your philosophy is. So something to think about for you guys that are in the Tier 1 program. This is why Jason Grayston and myself, this is why we teach you a little bit of everything. And the idea is that as you're going through the courses, I always say go through all of the course content first before you decide what type of trader you want to be, because as you go through the course content, you see kind of the different techniques and the different styles. You're going to start to have an idea on, hey, this I kind of like this one kind of rubs me the wrong way. And then we can start dialing in on that set philosophy and really help you build a successful strategy once you've decided which path you want to go. So that's my little bit of my little rant on philosophy. I want to give you guys something educational today. So let's hit the chart. And we'll kind of piggyback on this topic and show you kind of my philosophy on the markets with a trading opportunity on the New Zealand dollar to start off. All right, so let's start on the New Zealand dollar. And I always like to start on the daily time frame because for me, that is my personal higher time frame. Now, I often get asked the question, Akil, what is the best time frame? What time frame should I be trading? For you guys in the course, we talk a little bit about that, about working your trading around your life. But in general, there is no best time frame. There are more popular ones, of course, but it really depends on your philosophy. What time frame do you want to trade? You can trade the hourly, you can trade the 15-minute, the 5-minute, the 1 minute, the weekly. It doesn't really matter. What matters the most is that you're consistent. And what I mean by that is don't just bounce around to any given time frame on any given day. Don't trade the daily on Monday, then the minute on Tuesday, or the 15 on Wednesday. Have a consistent process that you stick to, whether it's daily as the higher time frame, then I jump down to the hourly to trade, or maybe it's the hourly as your higher time frame and you jump down to the 5-minute to trade. Again, it doesn't really matter. You just want to be consistent with it because, and I want you guys to say it with me, consistent analysis plus consistent execution equal consistent results. Good. Say it with me. Consistent analysis plus consistent execution equals consistent results. And that essentially means if you are analyzing the market the same way each time, looking for what you're supposed to be looking for, and of course you follow through and take the trades that you're supposed to take, you should see the profit that you expect to extract from the market. It's only when we deviate from that series, when we make some type of mistake, in which we tend to struggle thinking longer picture. Obviously, you can go through drawdowns and whatnot for shorter time frames or shorter periods of time, but bigger picture, you should fight your way out of those drawdowns and see profitability at the end. If you do not, that means there is a problem somewhere. So here in the New Zealand dollar, I'm not a big fan of this setup, but to be honest with you, the markets they've been complete junk aside from one or two pairs lately. So we're going to look at this one because it does have an opportunity on it, but you can see that we're very close to previous structure highs. In general, we've been in a period of consolidation, which means the market is moving sideways. You can see there's no clear series of higher highs and higher lows, right? As in right here, we're simply just going sideways across your chart. Now we are near a period of previous structure resistance. I typically don't like buying when we're this close to resistance because it really limits the potential of your trade. But as we go down to the lower time frames, you will see that there is an opportunity to make some profit before we run into really the highs of our structure resistance. But structure acts like a magnet. It is the number one thing in my trading philosophy. Structure is the most important part of my trading philosophy. So every type of decision I make is based off structure. And you can see in this situation, we just broke and closed above previous structure. We're trading slightly below previous structure. I would expect that this upper level of resistance acts like a magnet and that we see some type of push at least to test this level. Look at that. Went through puberty for the second time at least. So let's go down to the lower time frame. Let's go down to hourly, 4 hour? All right, let's go down to the hourly. We can stay here. And what we have here is a rising wedge. And essentially what a rising wedge is it's what I call a loss of momentum pattern. If I can get my button to click here, which means we're coming off of a high momentum move right here, right? You can see the steep slope as the market went from a swing low to a swing high. And then we continue to drift upwards, right? However, you can see instead of essentially going straight up, we kind of chopped and the market just seemed to become weaker and weaker as we were still making highs. And essentially what you see out of this pattern formation is some type of relief, meaning all of the buyers that were interested are kind of done with the trade, whether that's profit taking or just not interested in buying at this price point. And you see some type of relief, which is a retracement out of this formation. Now, in this particular situation, our retracement has come down to retest previous structure lows. So I'll go ahead and show you that. And this is going to offer us a buying opportunity. So if you look left, you can see price has come right to the previous lows of this rising channel or this rising wedge. If we look left as well, you can see we've also come to our previous level of resistance, which should now act as support. So if there's going to be an area to get long, this is going to be it right here. And what you can look for is a buying opportunity at these lows, stops below these lows, of course, and a chance to trade it up to retest previous structure highs up here around 73.89s, or I guess or depending on how you're taking targets. Are you a single position trader or a multi-position trader? Or you can look for an extension even higher to retest the previous structure highs that we looked at on the higher time frame up around about, let's call it 75. Nope. Probably around here. Let's just call it 70, 74, 74 even. So it's really not that much further than our initial highs, but a little bit. You don't want to be too greedy at this area. I would look on a 4 hour to see where those 4 hour closes are, but we'll keep it simple here. Either way, it's a buying opportunity at these lows. You can see it's low risk compared to the potential reward that's on the table. And I think it's something that you should definitely have on your radar going into the week. Now, if for some reason the opposite happens, right, because we don't know what's going to happen. I can't tell you whether the market's going to go up. I can't tell you whether the market's going to go down. The market does what it wants whenever it wants. Kind of like my kid right now is going through his terrible threes. But if the market ends up breaking and closing below, you would look for the exact opposite, right? You would identify your next level of structure, which is going to be right down here, right? You can see a level where price action came up, found resistance before breaking through. And you can look for an opportunity to trade price down to this level right here, 73.18s. Now, for you guys that are in the Tier 1 membership, when you watch the range bar trading course that I put out, or the active trader course that I put out, this is going to be a perfect example of a pair in which when you scan the markets, this will be one of those pairs that you isolate and you put on your watch list for day trading opportunities, as long as price action is trading within this range. So you have the potential buy up, obviously at this level. If we break and close below, we would look for selling opportunities. Either, there's 3 ways you can trade. If you guys watch the free training, you'll understand this perfectly. So this is a perfect plug. Watch the free training. The link is underneath this video. There are 3 ways to trade. I'm not going to let you know what they are because I want you to watch the video, but watch that video, then come back and watch this YouTube video, and you'll know exactly the 3 ways in which you can handle this situation. So that's the New Zealand dollar for you. And let's go back to, let's want to revisit some pairs that we looked at before earlier in the week. Euro Aussie. Tier 1 members, if you remember, we did a head and shoulders training lesson on Monday. YouTube members, I believe I did a lesson on head and shoulders last week with the dollar Canada. This is another example of a head and shoulders pattern, right? You've got price action creating this classic reversal pattern, right? Left shoulder coming down to the neckline. We have a head right here, right shoulder, and then finally breaking and closing below that neckline. You can see that we've rallied up to retest this level, right? Previous structure support should now act as resistance. This is your first strike entry to get short and look for the next move down. Same thing, not quite a head and shoulders, but the same concept on the euro pound. This was one that we talked about in Thursday's Trading Edge video down on the hourly chart. And you can see that we already got our first strike entry. Thursday, we were trading right here. We talked about the retest of structure, right? This little pregnant pause that I call it right in here. And we got our continuation down. So congrats to you traders that caught that initial move. If you didn't, now you reload for the next potential move. And price action gave us another retracement. You can see we came to a very nice level of structure. I love these big candles right here for you guys that are into supply and demand. It's going to be very familiar to you. But we came up, we probed that level. We have an indecision candle, which is this doji candle right here. And an indecision candle essentially means that there's equality between the buying and the selling pressure, meaning no one wins. Imagine it as a draw, if you think of it as a sports match. And then we had a lower low, lower close here to close the week. So a very nice close here on the hourly to end our week. Assuming we don't gap or anything like that, this is an at market buy as soon as the market's open, and you can look to try and catch that next extension down. So following up on this trading opportunity for you guys that weren't able to take advantage of the first one. Yeah, there we go. So before I let you guys go, I want to do a little bit of house cleaning. Tier 1 members, a few things are happening. One, I finally finished the day trading, the range bar trading course. I'm calling it the active trader course. Now, this weekend is Darren's birthday, or Darren's maintenance day. Sort of an inside joke. Darren is kind of the man behind the scenes that makes everything go here at Tier 1 Trading. And we joke, kind of, but not really, that he is a robot. So we were talking about his birthday the other day, and we said robots don't have birthday. They have manufactured dates or maintenance dates. So that's what we're talking about if you don't get the joke. So I don't know how much work he's going to get done over the weekend, but that training is complete. So hopefully it's up on the site soon. For you guys that aren't Tier 1 members, we still have the free training on the process of trading, teaching you the only 3 ways to trade. That is still available. You can click the link below this video to check that out. And also, back to the Tier 1 members, on the homepage, we're going to make a little bit of a change with the group setting. We talked about this in the live room on Thursday. Instead of having the groups on the main page, we're going to eliminate most of them and start having different forms for different pairs. So it makes it a little bit easier to see what our community members are looking at. So for example, we'll have a euro dollar group where if you're trading the euro dollar, if you do your analysis of the euro dollar in the morning, you can shoot it in there and share. And then someone else who wakes up maybe later can come in and kind of check out what the community is looking at for the day on that pair. And we'll have that for different pairs. So that's the idea, of course. Let me know if you like that and we'll go with it. If you don't, we'll change it to something that you think will be better for you. So I believe that is it for our housekeeping. If you guys are new, I hope I earned your subscription. If not, make sure to watch a few more episodes and see if my style of teaching meshes with your style of learning. And if it does, make sure you watch everything I have to offer. I have a massive amount of content. Trust me, you will not run out between the YouTube videos and the podcasts and the articles. There's a lot there for you. So I'm going to let you guys go. It's NBA playoffs time starting soon. Until next time, traders, plan your trade, trade your plan. Once again, have a fantastic weekend. And of course, I wish you the best of luck in the markets for this upcoming week.